every time we go through the border,
Yeah.
we have to have that talk.
We do.
Yeah.
Do you have any drugs on you?
And then
Sound like an old.
I ask you, Dad, you're not bringing anything, are you? And you go, I don't think so.
I hope not.
I hope not. And then we have to kind of look around, and then here's a joint, there's a pipe,
That's what we used to tell the immigration guys when Cheech and I were on the road. You guys carrying any drugs, narcotics? We say, I hope not.
Well, I don't know if I told you my story when I was coming back from Vancouver to LA.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 17, and we were smoking. I was smoking a bunch of weed with my friends. We got super stoned, and then when you leave Canada, you go through the immigration on the Canadian side. So before you get on the plane, and before 9/11, it was pretty relaxed. They just kind of like let you through. But now it's pretty intense. And so this is a while back because I'm.
But it was after 9/11.
Yeah.
So it was intense.
And then, no. This is before 9/11. This is before 9/11.
Okay.
And
so it was like they were.
No, but check this out. So he goes. The guy goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going home." He says, "Where do you live?" I told him where I live. He says, "What were you doing up here?" I was my parents. They have a house up here. We were on vacation. Holidays, visiting family, relatives. And then he said to me, he says, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, if you lie to me, I'll never let you in this country again. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, wait, I'm American. He can't do that, can he? But I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, just be cool, And then he goes, have you ever smoked marijuana?
What?
Yeah, he asked me that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is like a trick question, because you just look at me. Obviously, I've smoked marijuana.
Yeah.
And maybe he even knows, like on the notes there, that who my dad is.
Yeah.
And so I just said, no, sir. And then he said, okay, go ahead. Because it
was a trick question.
There's points, and especially in immigration, that you don't tell the truth. You say the right things. You know, you don't get points for telling the truth.
No,
you get points for being smart enough to don't say stupid shit.
Yeah,
right. Like don't say the bomb word. Don't
do what your friend Josh did.
Well, no. Well, I want to talk about what you did because you went to Japan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I told the truth, you mean?
Yeah. You learned it the hard way.
Well, this was way after 9/11 and everything.
This is recently. This is
2007, actually.
No, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Japan was that long ago?
Yep.
Jesus.
And Shelby and I are going over there, and we get over to Japan, and they're like anti-drugs, pot for sure.
Pot is
and they're big warnings to do not lie, and if you lie, you'll be barred from the place forever. So I'm honest. I write down any drug conviction. I put yes, and what was the nature, and I put selling bongs, and so. Of course, I get called right into the immigration office, and the Japanese guy looked at that. He goes, and he looks at me, and I'm wearing a very expensive, what do you call those watches?
Rolex.
Rolex. I got my Rolex on. I got my gorgeous wife, Shelby. She's all dressed up beautifully. Good. We're the kind of tourists that Japan needs.
Yeah, wants.
They need.
Yeah, you're wanted. You're wanted.
They need us.
You're flying first class.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And so the guy's looking at that. Now, their thing was if you deal with any kind of drugs, you're just not allowed in the country.
Yeah.
So the guy's looking at the paper, and he's looking at me, and he knows, I'm just a tourist waiting to spend millions of dollars in his country.
Yeah, well, not millions, but millions of yen.
Yeah. And so he goes, okay, bongs. Okay. If anybody asks you about drugs, you lie. I said, lie? Yeah, you lie. No drugs. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Have a nice time. No, and we got.
Yeah. And then there's another. We're going to talk about border stories, right? So there's another story that Ray Don told me, and you needed to get a car from Amsterdam to Paris.
Well, I had my car collection when I was in Europe. The franc was so low that Shelby bought me a Ferrari.
Right.
For like a $100,000 Ferrari for $25,000. Right. And so I had my Ferrari, and then I had my Rolls Royce Corniche shipped over there. Right. So I'd have a nice car while I was over there. But to drive, we had a deux chevaux. Okay, so let me tell you.
Hold on. I want to make sure, because you got several stories. I want to make sure. Now, is this the story where there was a certain bag?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay. I'm going to make sure.
So now, I drove the Corniche from Cannes to Amsterdam by myself. Right. And we're going to shoot Still Smoking in Amsterdam. Yeah. Okay. So while I'm there, of course, being the pot movie guy, in Amsterdam was the only place in the world that was legal, and so.
Oh, no, accepted. Like, not really.
No, it was legal.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was legal. They have pot cafes.
Yeah.
You could smoke. You could do anything.
Right.
And so what I did, I got all these gifts. And so I had a suitcase, and I filled the suitcase up with all this free dope, all the free pot, free hash, free
and the psychedelics too, like
the psychedelics, like, everything,
like all kinds of stuff.
Jammed with this big ass, beautiful suitcase too. I forgot. We had all the luggage and everything else. Yeah. We had you kids, everything else. So I forgot about the dope bag, that big suitcase. It was in the deux chevaux. So Ray Don, I don't know if she was she in the movie? I think she was. Yeah, she was in Corsican Brothers. Right. Yeah, she played a storyteller.
But she
like a tarot card.
This is she had to take the car from Amsterdam to France.
Yeah. So while we were in Amsterdam, we got all the dope and everything else, and we did the Corsican Brothers first. So it was all mixed together. Right. And so anyway, I had Ray Don drive my cars back to Paris. Paris. Yeah. And so she got a couple of Sufis. You know what Sufis are?
They're
with the turbans.
Yeah.
They're Christians. And so they drove the deux chevaux full of dope. Full of dope, but they're Sufis with the turbans.
So they didn't get stopped. No one checked them.
No one looked at them in that. Man, but the trouble is, when we got them Ray Don found the drugs in the thing, in the car. And she freaked out because she's anti-drug, you know. Yeah. And she wasn't not like us, you know. Yeah. She gave it away.
She flushed it all down the toilet.
Yeah.
And that's pretty.
I hate even saying that.
Yeah, that's upsetting, man. Like, come on, you made it. You know, like you don't need to.
It's money. You're flushing money down the toilet. What are you doing?
It's more than that. It's hard to get. You can't just buy that shit.
No.
Like, even if you had money, you have to know people.
There was a collection I'd be very proud to show off.
Yeah.
Look, there's a Rolls Royce Corniche I had. Yeah, that's it.
So that's the one story, and then there's a story that with Shelby. So you guys were, I think you're coming back from Canada to the United States, and you had a little pen case.
Oh no! First of all, we're leaving L.A. Okay. I'm packing because we're going to Canada. Right. We're going to go to Winnipeg.
Okay.
We're going to Winnipeg, and so no drugs because they're really at the border, especially Winnipeg because it's so close to the States. You know? And so they always check you. And so we're going to go to Winnipeg. And so there's a little pen case. I had a joint, one joint in the pen case, and I saw it in my luggage, so I took it out and I put it on the dresser, and I was clean. And so when we got to the border, the guy made me open my suitcase. I opened the suitcase. There's the pen case.
How did it get there?
Shelby thought I forgot my pen case, and she opened my suitcase, put it back in. And Cheech told me, he said my face just went, when they opened the suitcase and I saw that pen case, all the color drained from my face. And then the guy right away, he opened the pen case, found the joint. He goes, "What's this?" And I says, "Another day in Winnipeg." He didn't laugh, but he took it to the main guy, and the main guy goes, "What do we got here? Oh, Cheech and Chong, and whoa, one whole joint? Oh boy, one whole get out of here. Yeah. Get out of here." So he let us go.
And then there's one other story. This is back when you and Cheech were touring. This is like earlier on in your career.
Oh, the gym bag?
Yeah, the gym bag. Yeah. So tell that story.
It's I used to do this bit in my show because it's true. Yeah, it's so true. Everywhere we went, when Cheech and I were doing our thing,
right,
from 71 on,
right,
we were the only serious pothead act anywhere.
Drug act, basically, yeah.
And so we would go to places and people would throw weed and all sorts of drugs on stage. Right. And so I think we were somewhere, I forget where we were. Oh, no, we were back, we were in, I think Santa Cruz, somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, there was so much pot. Yeah. And we were going to go across the border. We were in Canada somewhere. Right. I forget, somewhere in Toronto or somewhere. Right. Anyway, Cheech and I got so much pot, and we split it up in the hotel room, you know. And Cheech took his half, and in fact, we actually smoked a lot of Cheech's weed because we're going to throw it away, you know. But I couldn't throw it away, man. It's not my nature.
So you decided to risk it.
So I'm going to risk it. So I wrapped mine up in a gym bag, a sock, put it in the gym bag, and we just tore in Cheech's half, and we smoked it all up. And that. So we get to the border, and now I'm carrying the gym bag, and we got other carry-ons, but we're walking, and we get close to the border, and I see the main guy looking at us, and it's not a nice look. He's giving that dagger look, you know. So I said, "Oh shit, they're gonna catch us." So I just kind of put the bag down. I was just gonna walk away and leave the bag, and we're walking there, and Cheech comes behind me, goes, "Hey, I'll carry that for you, man." He picks up the bag and I look at it, and I look at it, who knows? If I told him then, it would have been worse.
It's too late. Cause
it's too late, so we're there.
Then you're making a big deal about the bag.
Yeah. So we get there, and the guy, the guy goes to Cheech, "What's in the bag?" And Cheech threw it on the counter and goes, "It's full of dope, man." He thought it was my gym bag. And the guy looks at us, and because Cheech did that, it worked. Yeah. The guy goes, "Cheech and Chong, get out of here."
Right?
Yeah, get out of here.
Like he really had no clue.
Get out of here. So we were walking through there, and Cheech says, "Man, that was easy. We could have brought that dope." And I said to Cheech, "I'll carry the bag." No.
Oh, you didn't tell him? No. He would have freaked out.
You imagine? He would have got mad.
He would have freaked out.
And besides, we're going home, and I didn't want to share with him.
Yeah. And then there's one other one where you found out that you're a walk-in loophole. Like you're a loophole.
A what? Loophole?
A loophole in the system.
Oh.
Because you found out you got.
Oh, right. Yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
I used to go because we had a house up there. I was up there all the time. And I'd bring a little bit, not a lot, but just enough, actually, to tell you the truth, because it was illegal, I used to get off carrying it across the border.
Well, anyways, you were going up to Canada.
And what I used to do, I got my guitar on my back.
Yeah.
And if you carry the dope in the top of the guitar, the dogs can't smell it. You see, and you put the guitar on your
Well,
back.
Tommy Chong thinks the dogs
Yeah.
can't smell it, but I bet
No,
the dogs
the
can smell it. But like,
I used to carry dope through there all the time.
okay,
And so this,
with a dog, like
well, the dogs sniffed, and they forgot it because they knew I was bringing it in somehow, you know.
right,
But they didn't know. But they got the dog there. That's why
Right.
they had the fucking dog everywhere, you know.
right.
And so this one time, I'm really smart, you know, but I smoked out of this little pipe, and it was a cool pipe too. And I forgot, and I put it in my pocket.
Right.
So I'm there at the border, got my guitar on, you know, with the
You
dope
think
in
you're
the
slick?
top.
You got the dope.
And,
there.
and the dog comes up, and I go ahead, yeah, give it your best shot, dude. And the dog nose hits me right
just sits down.
right in the crotch, boom. And it was like it's here. If he could point, he's going, it's right here. So the guy says, we got a hit. So, sir, it would, you know, make it easier on everybody if you tell us where the pot is. Okay, it's in my guitar. So I showed him the guitar. You got any more?
So they take you in second.
Yeah, so they took my passport, and then you just wait here.
And were you with Shelby?
Yeah, I think I was.
Because she was like, I'm not with him.
Oh no, that was another time.
Oh, okay.
That was
okay,
another
let's
time. No,
take that.
this time, no, I wasn't. It was just me. And so the guy took my passport, disappeared, come back, handed it me. He says, "Okay, you can come in." And you know, he's like, I said, "What? That's it?" He said, "Well," he says, "You were born in Canada, so we can't keep you out of Canada."
Right.
And you have a United States passport, so they can't keep you out of the United States either. See, what they said to you, the trick question was you. If you're a Canadian and admitted that you smoke pot,
Right.
the American just keep you out.
Yeah, and I'm not. I wasn't born in Canada, so
No.
that's why it was so confusing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like.
But
what?
that's what they used to do. But when they found out that I was born in Canada with a United States passport, they said, "Well, you go either way, but no problem." I said, "You mean I can carry dope across the border?" And of course the guy go, "Oh, don't do that." But you know what kills me now?
What?
It's legal. We just came from a pot festival, and we couldn't bring anything back with us.
Yeah. Well, there's one other story that I want to say, and it was flying from Detroit to L.A. You and I.
Oh.
we went to like a.
I'm glad there wasn't a bus there because he threw me so far under the bus.
I did. We did.
Well, first of all, let's put
we did an event, right?
It was a celebration because the medical marijuana law had hit Michigan and passed.
No. It was past that. It was just a big weed event. We go there, and they just gave us jars and bags, and it was pretty good stuff for Michigan.
And you took that one big jar of
so
buds.
I put it all in the
and
carry-on.
you grabbed it in your knapsack.
Because, flying domestically, we usually carry it in our carry-on. It's no big deal. Because usually we're flying from a state to a state.
Yeah.
But technically, if you go through TSA, that's the feds. And anyways, we got one of those guys, and he was like, "What do we have?"
Well,
here?"
he saw the X-ray.
Yeah, but he was like, he was a do-gooder. He's like, I think he was looking to get into the DEA or something like that.
Well, he's old school.
No, the young guy.
Yeah,
the young guy.
But he was old school.
He was just a dick. Like,
Yeah,
and he was just started running. What do we have here? And then we got to call the police. And I'm like, oh fuck.
The chief of police, not the police.
So I say.
They said, whose bag is
I
it?
say, it's my dad's weed, and he's got a medical card because he has cancer, and it's his medicine for cancer.
It's like you said, he's got cancer.
And it's not the first time you took a rap for me, because you took the rap for me for the bong company. So, but man, what are they gonna do? Like arrest you? So I was I did some calculations, and I thought it would be better to put it on you, Dad. I hope you don't mind.
Well, they're not going to mess with me.
Yeah, you didn't mind. You actually take it as a badge of honor. But so then the chief of the sergeant of the airport comes.
The chief?
And he goes, oh, what's all this? And I go, well, my dad has a medical card, and he's like, where is it? I'm like, oh, I don't have it on me, but I can fax it to you right when we land. And he's like, oh, okay, you fax that to me right when we land. Okay, get out of here, take it and go. And he let us go with the weed. Yeah. And I didn't.
But remember what the guy said?
I didn't have a medical card. You didn't have a medical card.
No, we had to get one.
So when we got here, I had to call the one doctor,
Dr. Frankel.
Dr. Frankel. He passed away. Rest in peace. But I had to call him, get the medical card, get it, and then fax it over.
Well, we faxed it from the office, didn't we?
Yeah, we faxed it. Yeah.
Right to from the office.
Yeah, and that was that. So it worked out, Dad. I'm sorry for throwing you under the bus. I'm sorry, but I don't have a felony.
I guess
I don't have any problems. I'm not on any no-fly list, and
I guess
and you're Tommy Chong.
It's my karma from me throwing Cheech under the bus all the time.
Okay,
so,
what was the time when you got hassled with Shelby?
Oh, well, it was a bong. Some war had just started. Iraqi war, some war. And so they're really going crazy at the border.
Right.
And so we're coming into Canada with Shelby and I.
Yeah.
And someone had given me I think we're at Santa Cruz. Anyway, someone blew a beautiful glass bong.
And it hadn't been used, right?
It hadn't been used.
Yeah.
And so it goes through the X-ray, and the guy right away pull the bong out, pulls the bong out. What's this?
It's for tobacco.
yeah, for tobacco use only.
Yeah.
And he gets on his little thing, and we got a 1064 or whatever it is, and so Shelby's right with me, and so when she saw the bong and everything, goes, "I'll be in there. I'll meet you inside."
I thought she was like, "I'm not with him," and then she just kept going.
I'm gone. And so she left me under the bus, and so the guy figured out who I was and everything else, and let me and the bong go. Yeah. It wasn't, bongs weren't illegal then.
Well,
at the border, I'm saying.
Okay, all right. All right.
The weed and that. The pinchiest thing that ever happened to me at the border. We were coming back from somewhere, Cheech and I, and we were over in Europe. Oh no, I was over in Europe when we lived over there.
Yeah.
And I got a seed from Africa, a marijuana seed.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to keep it in a special place, so I put it in my passport.
Right.
And so I get to the border. The guy opens my passport, and there's a marijuana.
Why would you put it?
There's a marijuana seed.
Why in the passport?
Well,
man?
because I was going to hang on to the passport, and I wouldn't lose the seed. And we get to the passport control, and the marijuana seed falls out. He picks it up, looks at this, didn't say a word, and just took it and put it in a little envelope or something and put it by his desk. And I was like, "Can I have my seed?" Sorry, no, those aren't allowed.
You confiscated it?
Pissed me off, man. That African seed, it was beautiful.
Okay, well, to our audience, it's always best to not travel with it. You can always get it where you go. Not everyone's Tommy Chong and gets the leeway he gets.